Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Eric from eGadTech. This is the long-awaited video where I'm going to be testing the performance of the new Red Magic 6S Pro, and I'm going to be testing whether it's going to be doing any sort of thermal throttling. So we'll find out how much heat the Snapdragon 888 Plus will generate over the regular Snapdragon 888 on the Red Magic 6 Pro and on the Red Magic 6R. So let's put these three Red Magic 6 phones to the test. Alright, so before we begin, as usual, I'm trying to keep the RAM and storage the same on all the phones. So all of these three phones, so the Red Magic 6 Pro, the Red Magic 6S Pro, and the Red Magic 6R, they all have 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. In terms of the refresh rate, I'm keeping them all on the maximum refresh rate that they're capable of. So on the Red Magic 6 Pro, this is running 165Hz, same as the Red Magic 6S Pro, 165. The Red Magic 6R only maxes out at 144Hz. And in terms of the CPU or the chipset, the two phones on the left and the right, they both have Snapdragon 888, while the Red Magic 6S Pro Transparent Edition that I've got right here has the faster Snapdragon 888 Plus. It's clocked higher, so I'm expecting it to generate a bit more heat than the regular Snapdragon 888. And one other difference is the Red Magic 6 Pro has a metal back, while the Red Magic 6S Pro has a transparent back, so we'll see how that affects the thermal performance of the phone. While the Red Magic 6R is the only phone among the three that doesn't have an internal fan. So for my first test, I'm going to be running Antutu benchmark version 9, and I'm going to be running it a total of 3 times, and we'll see how much the score goes down per each run. Then I'm going to be running the 3DMARK wildlife stress test to see the sustained performance between these three phones. So let's go ahead and load Antutu benchmark first, and of course I'm going to be using the dedicated NUBIA game center just to keep things fair. So on the Red Magic 6 Pro, it's turned on by dedicated switch. Same with the Red Magic 6S Pro, has a dedicated switch. While on the Red Magic 6R, there is no dedicated switch, so you have to invoke it by opening the game space. Alright, so let's load Antutu benchmark on all these phones. So let's go ahead and run test 1 on Antutu benchmark version 9.2.2.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Starting the test in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so here are the results of the test. The Red Magic 6 Pro actually scored the highest with a score of 5,900 with a low loop score of 5,847 with stability of 99.1%. So that tells me that all throughout the test, there is no thermal throttling happening on the Red Magic 6 Pro. And in terms of the temperature, it actually went up from 27 and hit a peak of 44 degrees Celsius. So very impressive on the Red Magic 6 Pro. Now as for the Red Magic 6S Pro, as I kind of expected because of the glass back, instead of the metal back that you've got on the Red Magic 6 Pro, which actually conducts heat better, the Red Magic 6S Pro scored a bit lower. The best loop score was 5,867 with a low loop score of 5,412. Stability is 92.2. So that tells me that it did dial down the performance in order to keep the temperatures down. Temperature went from 29 up to 49 degrees. So it hit 5 degrees Celsius higher than the Red Magic 6 Pro. Partly because the Snapdragon 888 Plus is clocked a lot higher than the regular Snapdragon 888, and because the Red Magic 6S Pro has a glass back which doesn't conduct heat as fast as the metal back that you've got on the Red Magic 6 Pro. So as you can see, the fan is working double time in order to keep that temperature down. And pretty impressive on the Red Magic 6R guys. This phone doesn't have any sort of internal fan, but it still managed to score a very impressive 5,746. So not too far off with the two flagship phones. Low loop score is slightly lower than the Red Magic 6S Pro with 5,356, and stability was a bit better at 93.2%. In terms of the temperature, it actually hit higher. It had the highest temperature among the three, 44, 49, and 58. So pretty impressed with the performance. Even though it was the hottest phone, performance didn't go down too much, so this is still a very impressive showing from the Red Magic 6R without the internal fan. So overall guys, it's starting to become apparent that the Red Magic 6 Pro is having some problems keeping the temperature down, because not only is the Snapdragon 888 Plus clocked a lot higher, but it does generate a lot more heat. And since it doesn't have the metal back that you've got on the Red Magic 6 Pro, the effect of that extra heat is compounded. So even though you've got a cool looking RGB LED fan in the back, it's not enough to keep the temperature of the internals down. And from what I'm seeing, the Red Magic 6R actually hit a lot higher, but performance was not that degraded. So that's telling me that NUBIA has made a conscious decision to start limiting the performance in the Snapdragon 888 Plus a lot earlier in order to make sure that it doesn't damage any internal components. So with that said guys, let me know what scores you're getting on your device, and I'd love to discuss it on the comment section down below. And of course, I'm going to be doing a separate video, and I'm going to be doing a test on the Red Magic 6S Pro, and I'm going to be attaching all the coolers that I've got available on hand. So that includes the Black Shark Fun Cooler Pro 1, the Fun Cooler Pro 2, the Red Magic Dual Core Cooler, and I can actually make use of one of my controllers here, which is the GameSir F8 Pro Snow Gun Mobile Cooling Grip. Not only is it a controller, but it actually acts as a cooler. So make sure you turn the notification bell on so you get notified once that video was up. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this stress test between the 3 Red Magic 6 phones. A sub would be massively appreciated. Please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon notification, and see you all on my next one.